Well, it's Grottu Orloff. The Grottu Orloff Show, Episode 3, October 9th, 2020. Let me get this ridiculous mask off. This show tonight is dedicated to Metarog, and he was one of the contest winners, along with the comic Crypt Keeper of Castle Hills. And I promised to do a sequel to my embarrassing recreation of Metarog's set. I did a recreation of his binder and his whole setup, and it did not go as well as it should have, because Metarog is the master of the comic book arts, and Grottu is simply learning. But tonight on the Grottu Orloff Show, I'm going to take you through my collection of Legion of Superhero comics, actually from the 60s. Another episode, I'll go through the 70s, simply because they're in another box. So, having said that, this is something that's been much anticipated. I've been separating my comics, Silver Age from Bronze Age, and so this is Silver Age Box 1, because obviously Adventure Comics is going to wind up in the first box. Hey, that last video, I forgot to mention some stuff, and I need to go through that. I was talking about Marvel Comics and Marvel Comics on film, and I completely forgot that in the mid-90s there were some really great, mostly great, animated Marvel cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons. There was a really good X-Men cartoon, and if that hadn't have been made, the X-Men never would have broken free from just comic book nerds. That broke it into popular culture, and all kinds of kids knew who these characters were, and that's why the movies ultimately were made. Then there was a really good Spider-Man cartoon. I seem to recall Marvel tried to do... they did an Iron Man cartoon that was terrible. They did a Fantastic Four cartoon that lasted 2 seasons. The first season wasn't good. This is the mid-90s. Second season was actually really good and close to the comics. So yeah, Fantastic Four cartoon. And then I also forgot the Netflix wave of Daredevil was really good, although... maybe it could have been cleaned up a bit so kids, young teenagers, could watch it too. I thought Daredevil was great. Only thing is, he's a lawyer, right? And Daredevil doesn't cover this part of his mask, so why does he always have his beard halfway grown out, like he just didn't shave? The thing about that is, you put on your Daredevil mask, and you can still see this part of your face, and then you're Matt Murdock, the lawyer, in court. What kind of lawyer goes into court with that 5 o'clock shadow, with that stubble? I know it's supposed to look cool, but I would have shaved Matt Murdock. Great show. Spinning out of that, The Punisher was, at least I watched the first season. I don't think I've had a chance to see it. I haven't seen the second season of The Punisher, but it was good. Iron Fist was, I watched the first season and watched the second season. It was, it wasn't, it was okay time waster. It wasn't the comic. I watched some of Luke Cage, just make the characters look like they did on the show. Jessica Jones, I don't even know that character from the comic. That came along after my time, and it's okay. It's kind of depressing. I really want to watch a show about an alcoholic. Not too much. Shit. And then what else was there? They had The Defenders, which of course is nothing like The Defenders that I knew, which had Doctor Strange, the Hulk, and it wasn't The Defenders I remember. It's alright. Daredevil's the best of those, with the Punisher after that. But other than that, I'm sure I forgot all kinds of shit, Marvel stuff, but... and there was a more, like in the recent last 10 years, there was an Avengers cartoon that on Saturday mornings, or I don't think they have cartoons on Saturday morning. I think it was pretty good, but I don't remember. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. We care about the Legion of Superheroes, and I'll do another episode where I talk about DC movies, and that will be interesting, indeed. But Marvel has fared better for the most part in the world outside of comics. This definitely needs to be rebagged. But here's my oldest adventure comic, and it is I don't have my gosh darn reading glasses. Whoa, 274. This is before the Legion, though. All right, 287. The War of the Superboys. Here is Adventure Comics number 291. It's a safe bet that this comic is somewhere around 62, 63. Why? Because they've got Cleopatra on the cover, and the Elizabeth Taylor Cleopatra was coming out, and everyone thought it was going to be a big hit in the theaters, and of course it was not quite as big a hit as people thought it would be, but that's why she's on the cover. I need to show this to my wife. My wife's name is Cleopatra, coincidentally. 302. Look at that. Now, you know, some of my comics aren't in the best condition. These are reading copies. Would I like them in better shape? Sure. Let's see, this one's not too bad. This is number, god damn it, 307. What was that last one? 302. Oh, I've got issues I need to fill in. And of course, my phone is reflecting on the Mylar. How about that? 310. Damn, I love Crypto the Superdog. I had a dog named Daisy, a beagle that looked a little bit like Crypto. I even put a Superman suit on her once, and she didn't like it. She tore it off pretty soon. But I just found a little red cape that goes with that dog suit the other day. Legion of Superheroes. People are always dying. Oh, I got 2 copies of this one. How about that? Which one's in better shape? Definitely this one is in better shape. You need to know the issue number. 316, I think it says. Damn. I hate that purple ink that DC used because it's hard to see numbers on it when you get to be old. This is number 317. Oh, the Legion members have been turned into little babies. Hey, like that outer space music I've got going, because we're talking about the Legion of Superheroes. If you don't know what this is, Superboy was Superman when he was a kid in Smallville, and it was a boring town. But what he would do is he'd fly through the time barrier to a future time when there was a group of teenage superheroes called the Legion of Superheroes, and Superman was a member. 318. He joined them. Now, how do you go into the future? Now, if you and I went to the future, we're not famous. We could hang out in the future and come back with no real repercussions. But if you are a famous person like Superman, Superboy, you go into the future, there's going to be statues all around. There's going to be stuff about you all around, and you're going to know the day and date, the time, how you died. I mean, it's just going to be hard to hide that from you, eventually, and so you're going to come back to present day 1960s with the knowledge of, with that knowledge, which seems like it would be kind of disturbing for a teenage boy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they have some explanation where they like wipe his brain of that particular memory. Oh, I got 2 copies of this one. How about that? This one I actually paid $20 for. No, it was actually on discount because it has this red. I think I bought it half price. I probably paid $10 for it at Duncanville Books. But I didn't realize I already owned this. I'd already owned it for like 20 years, and then I buy another copy of it because of not being a careful collector. This one's got a color break. Can you imagine? What would CGC say about that? I did a parody of a video, my first episode of my Grottu Orloff show a couple nights ago. I did a parody. How do you judge whether a comic is suitable for sending off to CGC? I hope it didn't hurt people's feelings, because I was kind of making fun of the videos I've been seeing where people want to send their comics off so they can never read them again. 321. I don't know. I like to read comics. I like to open comics. I like to smell comics. The way Joe Biden likes to smell, well, he likes to smell other things, but I smell comics. The Legion of Super Pets. Now this is incredible. And of course, Super Horse, who it would be a lot Supergirl. You know, if they didn't spend all the time on Supergirl's stepsister, and who is going to be her girlfriend is Lex Luthor's sister, who's like, is she evil or is she not? Is she going to be the girlfriend of Supergirl's stepsister? Is that really what you want when you watch a Supergirl show? Or do you want to see this freaking horse with the Superman cape that was Supergirl's pal in, of course, the comics? And all girls love horses. If they'd put that on the show, it would have been a huge hit. But, you know, this is the Mort Wessinger era of DC Comics, and it's insane. And, of course, Super Horse is thanking Prody 2. For the first test to get into our Legion, you must impersonate Superboy and perform super deeds. And Prody 2 is this creature here is saying, I can change myself to Superboy, but without superpowers, how can I duplicate his feats? How about that? Oh, look at this Illuminati stuff going on here. Issue number 323. Just amazing. And, oh, this is an amazing cover. Looks like I got 2 copies of this. 324. Look at that. If anyone ever calls you a dickhead, you can say, hey, that's cool, because I was on the cover of Adventure Comics, number 324. All right. DC, this is the greatest stuff. I mean, this was stuff about teenagers, and teenagers didn't realize it, but it was actually, they were paying a teenager to write these stories, so they were, it wasn't a 60-year-old guy writing these stories about teenagers. It actually was a teenager. And DC had some cool stuff, like these adventure comics with Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and they had Doom Patrol going, and they had Enemy Ace. People say, oh, DC was just really square and not as good as Marvel, and for the most part, Marvel had them beat, but no, DC had some cool stuff going on. For sure. Okay, so now we're up to 326, and of course, Supergirl also went forward into the future and hung out with, even though Superman didn't meet Supergirl until, I mean, Superman met Supergirl when he was already full grown, but as a teenager, he already knew her. Okay, too confusing. I'm sure there's an explanation, and I'm sure I used to know why, but, you know, it's been a lot of years. I got 2 copies of this. Oh, look at this one. It's got a color break. Well, you know, I make fun of it, but I hate it. This one's really in bad shape. No shit, that looks like a fucking tear. $3.29. This is just a reading copy. It's a Bizarro issue. I need to upgrade on that one. I lost a pound, by the way, since episode 1. I'll have you know. And I'm going to be losing a lot more as I get back into fighting shape. Oh, that dog's getting upset downstairs. I had to block the stairs so she couldn't get upstairs because this is 331. The Civil War of the Legion. Yeah. Lots of bad stuff going on in the future. Oh, look. The 30th century villain more dangerous than Goldfinger. So obviously Goldfinger was newly in theaters. That would date this around 64. The greatness of the Legion of Superheroes. Amazing, huh? Well, that's some spooky music, huh? Grottu's got all kinds of music in his amazing vaults. 341, we're up to the go-go check era. The swinging go-go check era. This is hard on the back showing off these damn comic books, I'll have you know. 342. Purple covers are sought after. Used to be, you know, in the old days when I was collecting comics, purple covers, covers with gorillas, covers with dinosaurs, those were things that people collected. Now, it's just key issues. Key issues, is it a key issue? Well, yeah, it's a key issue. It's got a purple cover, dumbass. I don't know this modern collecting world. I'm from another era because, as I've told you before, Grottu exists outside of time. Grottu does not understand time. Grottu certainly does not understand a time period when people listen to Cardiac B and her wet-ass asshole song. Not Grottu's kind of music at all. Shit! This one I apparently got for $5 from somebody at some time. Probably Cosmic Comics. It looks like they're kind of sophisticated. Price sticker. I should rebag stuff that has come in from the wild with price tags on it. Sometimes it's good to keep the price tags so you kind of know when and where you got it, how much you paid for it. But you don't want to be bringing in those sea germs, those virus germs from the horrible people out there. It's a purple cover, dudes. I need to be cool because I can't get to 100 subscribers. Desperately trying to get to 100 subscribers with cool shit. I think I should do a fake unboxing where I just get a box together and pull stuff out that I've had for years, but pretend I just ordered it and I'm getting it for the first time because I can't afford to order anything now. But people love unboxing videos. And I already did my fake CGC video to get those people in. I don't know. I'll get 92 subscribers, then I'll go to 91, then I'll go to 90, then I'll go back to 91. And I think people like to unsubscribe whenever I mention that Donald Trump is a great president. When I say that, then I lose a couple subscribers, then 2 more come. But I'm trying to get to, actually I'm at 93 now. You know, I don't know. It's hard to get, I guess I need to be less controversial. All right. Yeah, still in the go-go check era. You don't know what I mean. These were called go-go checks, and it was a way that you could see it's a DC comic when you're flipping through the comic book rack because you'd see those go-go checks, and it was supposed to be mod and cool. And the 70-year-old men at DC thought this was going to be a way to be cool for those kids. weren't. Look at this. I got 2 copies of this. How about that? Which one's... Yeah, which one's in better shape? Definitely this one. This one definitely needs a cleaning and a pressing. That didn't even exist in the old days when I was collecting comics. That's a new thing. Cleaning and pressing. Pressing's a brand new thing. People are still talking, I need to buy a presser. How much do the pressers cost? Okay, well, we're up to, gosh darn, 352. I probably should move slower on these comics for those of you that are wanting to take long, lingering looks at them. This is the incredible issue number 355. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, Legion, little kids again. Well, that looks like the last of the Go-Go check issues. Let's see, that's 356. Is this 357? It's a... Yes, and it's still gold Go-Go checks, and it's one of those purple covers. Ladies and gentlemen, a purple cover. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a purple cover. And 359. 359 in our concentration camp. And then we move into, we're starting to get kind of dangerously close. See, it's so hard to read the numbers when they're against the probably perfectly easy for you. I think that says 362, or who knows what the fuck it says. We're starting to get a little dangerously close to the 70s. But actually in the 70s, the mid-70s, well, no, in early 70s, Legion of Superheroes took on a new life. It became... The uniforms, the costumes that the characters wore became insanely disco-y, very wild, and it was a comic that did not. It was still good. A lot of comics, you know, when they got into the era of the 70s, weren't quite as cool as they were in the 60s, in my humble opinion. Look at Crypto. But, oh, I got 2 copies. This one's got a crease in the middle. Ooh. This one's in Mylar, but it's not boarded. You know, it used to be, we didn't board the comics. Now I've got all these comics. I got a bag and board, or at least put boards in. Okay, so we're starting to get real Neil Adams-y looking on the art. I don't think that's Neil Adams. It might be. But if it wasn't Neil Adams, it was someone trying to draw like Neil Adams because they were told, you need to draw more like Neil Adams because he sells magazines, comic magazines. There's a big crease. Horrible. This is a cover I always liked. I have a distant memory of seeing this as a little kid. I think my older brother, one of my older brothers may have had it. Okay, so at this point, Adventure Comics becomes Supergirl's comic. So, yeah. So Legion of Superheroes was moved to the Superboy comic, as I recall. You know, they were trying to sell this comic, so it's like, oh, how can we get a little more skin in our suits, you know? So they almost went like Logan's Run, Jenny Agutter there. And then the next time you see, well, she's got a different suit. And then they really, they have her splayed out there trying to sell this issue. This is when DC went up to 52 big pages for only 25 cents. Then they went down to 20 cents. Yeah, man, she keeps changing her suit. Here it kind of looks like little frilly panties or something. There's one issue. Technically, we're out of the Silver Age, but I still have them in this box. There's one. Is it even here? No, this is all Bob Hope. Because, yeah, no. There's one of the issues. It's got like a cannon. Supergirl's throwing a cannon, and the cannon's kind of bent out of shape. It looks kind of like a penis. And I don't know what issue that is. You probably know. Horrifying. Well, that was for Metarog. I'll do something now for to cheer up the comic Crypt Keeper. And in San Antonio, I was showing him. He's been buying these Bob Hope comics because he saw me showing them off, and so I'll show off my whole Bob Hope collection. And Bob Hope was amazing because Bob Hope, as you know, in real life hung out with all these monsters. And so, actually, they're trying to sell a comic that wasn't selling well, and you know, had been big in the 40s and 50s. And so, how do you sell this guy that's getting older, this comedian that's really someone that their parents listened to on radio and watched on movies? Well, you put monsters on all the covers and a mod, you know, a mod kind of rock and roll guy. But yeah, there was a huge monster craze, as you might know, in the 60s and still going on in the 70s, but this is 60s. So they were selling these Bob Hope comics with monsters, and they were doing the same thing with Jerry Lewis comics, but the monsters stayed just about in every issue. And I love monsters, so. And then, you know, you get to. Then Neil Adams started doing covers. I think that's a Neil Adams cover. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I think it is. Got 2 copies of it, because not on purpose, you know. I start getting bored and tired, and I start not showing you these comics well enough. I'm not telling you the numbers. This, I'm almost positive, is a Neil Adams cover. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I got 2 copies of that. Well, how about that? How about that one? Amazing Adventures with the Black Widow. Probably that's valuable now with all these speculators. Indeed. Well, will the Black Widow movie ever come out? That is the question. Will it come out in theaters, or will it go straight to streaming video, where you'll pay $30 to see a movie in your home, but not to actually own it? The world will know within a few months, I guess. Well, Rush Limbaugh's show, President Trump was just on there for 2 straight hours, didn't cough once, sounded great. He says that this medicine that he was on is a cure. He said that's news. And when Rush Limbaugh told him that, so according to some news article, Attorney General Barr, who I'm starting to look a lot like, you notice, with my, as I gain immense amounts of fat, he said that Attorney General Barr was saying he's not going to prosecute all these people like Hillary Clinton, Obama, Biden until after the election. And I don't think Trump had heard that yet. And he got really pissed, and he says he better not have said that. He says, I'm gonna make a call as soon as after this show. You know, he's gonna raise some hell. He wants, because he says, well, he wants them prosecuted. If they start arresting people like an ex-president, they start arresting the next first lady, things are gonna go pretty scary in our nation's, Targets and Walmarts. I mean, there's gonna be these people are going to go nuts. I mean, these people are so. The world's a scary place, but I think if you vote and vote wisely, perhaps it won't be as scary. But you know, as long as there's the Legion of Superheroes, you know the world's going to survive because the Legion of Superheroes exists in the 30th century. So, the world's going to keep going. Read Legion of Superheroes. It's proof. And with that, I will go eat Mexican food. See you real soon.